Hi, I'm Joe Salvamini, and I'm principal of Carlson Home Hospital School. And the purpose of this video is to explain to you what it is that Carlson does and how it is that we do what we do when we provide instruction to students, so that if you decide that you might be a perfect candidate to be a teacher with Carlson, that you come in with the understanding of exactly what it is that our teachers do. Now, I'm going to give you what we call here at Carlson, what we call our list of disclaimers. This is, generally in an interview, we go through a whole list of reasons why you may not want to work for Carlson, because there are some significant things that are different with us. We are the only school in the district that provides the type of instruction that we provide, and so there are many things that are different about us that you should know about before you even consider applying for Carlson. I have some notes down here, so I may be referring to some of the notes here and there. The main issue with Carlson teachers is that Carlson home teachers are what we call paid as worked rather than annualized. Now, let me tell you the difference between paid as worked and annualized. Both teachers, providing home teachers, if you have, or the paid as worked teachers, if you have a full caseload of students, both teachers at the end of the school year will earn the exact same salary. However, the way you get paid will be significantly different depending on whether you're an annualized teacher, like most teachers in the district, or if you're a paid as work teacher. Annualized teachers, let's say you're paid, I'm just going to choose some numbers here to make the math really easy. But let's say, for example, you're earning $36,000 a year. I know that's less than what you would, but let's say you earn $36,000 a year. As an annualized teacher, your pay, the $36,000, is divided into 12 equal parts that you wind up receiving once a month, $3,000 per month. As a paid as work teacher, providing you have a full caseload of students, and a full caseload of students is 5 students with the typical home teacher. The paid as work teacher, you don't get paid until you actually work with students. So, you wouldn't get paid. The first pay check for an annualized teacher is August 5th. And then you keep getting 1/12 of your paycheck every month through July 5th of the following year. A paid as work teacher, because you haven't worked in July, you don't get the August 5th paycheck, and because you didn't start working until the middle of August, then your September 5th paycheck is going to be about half the size as it normally would. However, once you start getting into October, November, and so forth, then your paychecks are going to be bigger than an annualized teacher would be. So that's one of the main differences between the two that you have to understand before you even consider working for Carlson. Now, if you're applying for Carlson before about July 30th or so, then there's time for us to switch you over. If you were going from an annualized position to a paid as work position, there's time for us to report that to the district, so that this way you don't get your August 5th paycheck. Because once you get the August, if you are still considered to be annualized and you get your August 5th paycheck, and then you start working for Carlson as a paid as work teacher, then basically that August 5th paycheck you haven't earned yet. You have not earned that yet, and therefore you will owe that amount of money to the district. And by the end of the year, the school year, it will all even out, but it becomes a hardship right in the beginning. So you just need to be aware of that. But what I do want to say about Carlson is that back in the 90s, I started as a teacher with LA Unified as a teacher in Carlson, and then for the past 10 years or so, I've been principal. But one of the most rewarding schools I've ever worked at in my teaching career has been Carlson. And there are a lot of reasons why you would want to work with Carlson, but the purpose of this is to tell you why you may not want to work with Carlson, because we want to make sure that you understand everything and that you know what you're getting into. But once you're in, then the rewards are immense. The teachers are, as a teacher, you're a teacher with Carlson. You're not a tutor, even though you're going to be going into students' homes, working with students who are very ill, who might be with us on psychiatric reasons. They might be with us because they're on chemotherapy. They may have a broken bone, and they temporarily need the services of our school, where we send teachers into the homes to work with students. As a Carlson home teacher, you would be working with students one-on-one. You would be providing them the amount of instruction that they're required to get. You will not more than likely work with students in groups. Once in a while it happens, but it's far and in between. A full caseload of students for a home teacher is 5 students. So as long as you have 5 students on your caseload, then you get a full salary, as long as you have that 5 students throughout the years. Now, as far as grade levels, Carlson, because the way I say it is that everybody gets sick, and that includes students, and therefore we work with students that are in grades kindergarten through 12, and actually it's pre-K through 12 plus, they call it, or TK through 12 plus, and we work with all ability levels and disability levels. So we have the most highly gifted students, as well as we have the most severely disabled students, and so we have that whole gamut in there. And now, as a teacher, even though our school represents the entire district and we're throughout the entire district, as a teacher with Carlson, you're required by the UTLA LAUSD bargaining agreement to choose one of 11 areas that are called your primary area, and then you're required to choose 2 adjacent areas, and those are areas that you're willing to work in. Basically, it kind of coincides with the local districts that they have now, but instead of 6 local districts like they have now, the contract talks about the old configuration of the district, which was 11 districts, and so within that area that you choose, especially the area that you choose as your primary area, my job is to make sure that I fill you with students within that area. If I need to go into your adjacent areas, I will. But when you choose an area, then that means that you're willing to travel to every single area of that local district, that one of the 11 districts, and so that means that you might have distances between one student and another student, and requiring drives. However, you're driving between students, you do get mileage for it. It would be reimbursed to you by whatever the federal standards are, and I think right now it's about 54 cents. Figure about 50 cents per mile.